Yep, it's heavy. Hey folks, welcome back to Jerome Farm and Homestead. It's a Saturday, November 9th. It's a Veterans Day weekend, so thank you all your veterans for your service out there. I am super glad that I live in a free country and I can keep bees on my own property, do what I want, and just enjoy all the parts of freedom that are intangible that you don't even really notice. There's a lot of countries out there that are living under dictators. They don't have running water, just basic necessities, and they're just treated really bad. So I feel bad for those people that live in those countries and don't have a choice of what they do. But thank you again, veterans, for your service. So yeah, it's November. Can you believe that? Seems like it was just not long ago I was out here getting a swarm out of this little plum tree. So it's been really bad weather-wise. Lots of rain. We were under flood warnings, and last weekend I've got, I think, 7.4 inches. This weekend already, like Thursday, Friday, I've got 1.3 inches. The ground is really saturated, and we got a lot of rain last night, as a matter of fact. But we had some severe weather. Tornado came through here. Some of you saw Newcastle, Oklahoma on the national news. The roof got taken off of the school. That's 1.25 miles to my north. That tornado started just on the other side of me over here, took out lots of my neighbor's fence, lots of trees. It took out the top of one of my trees over here. And then at some point, I don't know if it zigzagged or went up, but I had no damage on my house, nothing to my barn. My neighbors over here lost their llama barn, the roof, and they've got that fixed already. And then it touched back down somewhere over there, and then it hit the school, and it kept on going to the northeast and all the way to like almost to Midwest City, across where Tinker's at. There's a place at 59th and Sooner Road where there's houses that are just gone. And yeah, that started just right over there. Lots of fences down and things like that, just over the hill from me, just a little ways. So we're really blessed that we didn't get hit with any of that. But I do have some tree work I got to do. Once it cools off a little bit more, I'll get the chainsaw out and start cleaning those up and taking care of them. So I hate cutting wood when it's hot, but I like it to be cold out when I'm cutting wood. But okay, so today, last you saw, I was feeding my weak hives. I had about 8 that I was feeding liquid. One hive over here, 23 or 24, I actually put some honey in there for them to take down. So hopefully they've taken down all that honey by now, but I doubt it because it's been getting kind of chilly. We did have one freeze. It got down to 31 degrees for a little bit, but we've had some really warm days, you know, up in the 80s since then. When it wasn't cloudy and raining. So that's what I'm going to do today, is I'm going to check on that hive there, get those honey jars out of there. Any other hives that I've got the feeders on, they're coming off. I'm not mixing any more liquid feed this year. I've got 100 pounds of sugar left that I will probably make some solid sugar cakes with to put on top of the hive with a shim, but I'll do that later on in the year. They're all good to go right now, I think. To get, you know, at least into the latter part of January, I would hope so. And I'll start checking them then, and at that point I will, on nice days, I'll start putting sugar cakes on them if they're really lightweight, so because they will starve out. So I've got a lot of hives this year going into winter, a lot more than usual. I think I got like 35, and coming out of last year I had, I think, into the spring, or this season, I had, I think, 20 something, or right around 20 starting out. And it was just a fantastic year. Weather was perfect. Bees expanded exponentially. They made a lot of honey, and record-setting honey, 1,048 pounds, 49 pounds. And the sales have been great. I'm on my last bucket out of those 21, bottling the last bucket, and most of that's sold. So it's been selling really good this year. I think I'm building a pretty good customer base here in my local area. A lot of people are coming back, and a lot of them say, man, that's the best honey I've ever had. So yeah, it is really good. I had tasted it before and thought, man, this is really good, but I thought, well, it's just honey, right? But yeah, I guess my honey really does taste really, really good. It just is so full of flavor. It hits your taste buds, and you're just like, wow, it's really good. Anyway, I'll quit bragging about my honey. Let's get down there. Also, I'm going to queen check the 2 pissy hives from Western Oklahoma that were my father-in-law's, because I have not checked them for queen right. Every other hive is queen right, and I did find some in my last inspections, and I did do some combining. So you'll see, let's see, 1, 2, 3 vacant spots over here. I see 1, 3 or 4 over there. So yeah, I've combined some hives. Some hives were trying to requeen here, and I found them with virgin queens. I found them with no queens this time of year, and I just combined them up. So get them good populations so they can survive winter and stay warm. All right, let's get in there and see what we find with that honey and do those queen rot checks. Okay, here's our hive that has the honey in it. So that's 22, so that's 24. And this one over here's got the brick on it. So it's got a top feeder on it. And I remember it was just lightweight hive. So let's see if they've got the honey left in here. I bet they do. It's just been too cold and it's too thick. And they just made a liar out of me. So yeah, look at that. Those warm days, man, they sucked it down. 2 quarts of honey. So yeah, I'm like sloshing. This ground is just mushy. Lots of rain. There's my wax moth designer deep box. So let me get that off of there, check the weight. This one should be good to go. Yeah, another reason I haven't shot any videos, we went off of daylight savings time. It's 5:30 now. Just love that. Yeah, that worked good. So I had this old honey that was left, and it had sat there a while, and I didn't filter it, and it was too. Yeah. Man, that was not very old either. So I filled this pretty full, and there's nothing in it. Of course, it's been quite a while. You don't want to leave these on over winter, because all the heat from your bees are going to come up in here, and your bees are going to have a hard time staying warm because their heat's getting away from them out through this feeder up into the top of it. And in the springtime, if they survive, they'll build comb all up in here. So that's a pretty healthy looking population. So I remember now, this is a heavily populated hive. They don't have much stores, so they're really lightweight. And they're going to go through their food fast because there's a lot of them. So let me do the 2-finger test. get 2 fingers in there and lift that. So this is good now, which this is a bummer. I'm just going to use this. Yeah, look how much it's warped. So that this other lid will hold this down and they'll seal that up. If I can find it. All right. I'll put this battery on there. That'll get it nice and flat. So this one's good, no brick, leaving that be. So another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put all my entrance reducers on, get rid of these blocks, and also I brought my Pro Vape down here. I'm going to, if I've got time, I'm going to do an OA treatment. Yeah, man, I got water standing down here. Look at that. Standing over there. Maybe I should have worn my rubber boots. Yeah, here's the 2 mean hives. So I just need to do a queen rot check on these and get their entrances reduced down. I'll start with that one there. The meanest one was on the right. Fortunately, these are on a little bit of an incline, so I'm not standing in water, but there's water right behind me, about 2 inches deep, and there's water there right by the camera. That riled them up. Here they come. Go back! I'm a nice beekeeper. Leave me alone. Go back. This hive's nice and heavy, so yeah, we're good here as far as weight. Oh my gosh. Release the Kraken. Man, I don't know if I want to do this or not. I'm gonna put some smoke in the front door too. By putting some smoke down low in the front, those bees that are down here in the hive, they'll go to honey and start eating honey. And that'll keep them from coming up at me. At least that's the theory. There's a little dead, little yellow jacket. They're meaner than yellow jackets. Took that one out. I'm being gratuitous with the smoke. Do not care for another stingnado. Okay. Very strong hive. And they have got this thing propolised up big time. This is why you use wood glue on your frames. I use Type Bond 2 or Type Bond 3. And so when you're prying a frame out like this that's propolised in, you will pull that top right off of your frame if you don't have it glued. Those staples or nails, whatever you got, if you don't have that glued as well, it'll pull it right in two. So all I want to see is some brood. So this is a food frame, got honey capped and bee bread. So since I see the bee bread right there, I suspect we're going to have brood probably in this next frame or one more behind that. And this will be short and sweet. They have chilled out quite a bit since I first popped it open. I only have about 15 of them buzzing my head. So this is all liquid bee bread, capped honey. So for stores, they're doing good. This is all food right here. This is bee bread, which is pollen mixed with nectar honey. Come on, show me some brood. There shouldn't be a whole lot of brood in here, but there should be some. So I know I've got a good queen. Man, this hive is packed out with bees. Would you look at that? Still not seen any brood. You know, really, they've got too many bees in here going into winter. They need to skinny down a little bit. It's just the genetics of this queen. Man, look at that. No signs of brood yet. You know, if I don't see any brood, just based on the strength of this hive, you know, the queen may have just stopped laying for a bit. But usually you will see a little bit. And I'm not seeing anything. It's making me nervous. I darn sure don't want to go into the bottom box. Come on, show me some brood. Golly. It's all food up here, basically. They could have brood right below this. They could have done some of this during a fall flow, which we didn't have much, after I pulled the honey supers off of here, because these two hives is where I had my fall honey harvest from. All food, just it's liquid everywhere. Just based on the strength of this, you would think it's queenless, but you really never know until you see evidence. So with this many bees, it was queen right 2 months ago, for sure. And this is a heavy, heavy frame. It's capped out here and all liquid in there. And I can see that's all capped. Well, as much as I hate to, I'm gonna have to get into that bottom. And I really don't like going into a bottom box on a hot hive, big population, lots of propolis to deal with, and it's not warm out, so things don't move very easy. And to visually spot the queen in a case like this, it's going to be next to impossible. See, I can't even get these frames back. There we go. I'm just going to pull it and set it right up here. Yep, it's heavy. See how much weight we got down here below. It's not bad, but there's not a lot of stores down there from the way it feels. So if that queen has just totally quit laying and she's still here, it is the perfect time to do an oxalic acid treatment when there's no brood. You'll get all the mites that aren't in the cells because there's no cells that are capped off. So this is pollen, a little bit of pollen and empty, same thing. I'm not going to see any brood down here. These bees that are in this cluster here are just kind of leftover bees that can't fit up top with the main herd because there's nothing going on down here as far as stores or anything. You know, I didn't see any supersedure cells, meaning they're trying to requeen, which they won't be able to this time of year. There's no drones. There must be a little bit of honey right there. Yeah, because they were getting in that. No signs of brood. Yeah, there's nothing down here. No need to even move on. So I need to make a note on this hive for springtime or late winter. Make sure it's queen right, because it could very well be queenless. With all this population, it's gonna, and these winter bees, they'll make it quite a ways. They got a lot of food stores. They just may not have a way to repopulate themselves, but we don't know. Yep, so all the weight on this thing, most of it is up top. There's very little below. Get back to your own hive. So this is hive 39. Okay, let's get in number 40. Man, I never thought I'd have 40 beehives. I don't have 40 right now. I probably got 34, 35. But this year there were 40. This one doesn't seem near as grumpy. You know, this one I pulled the queen out of. She's over there somewhere. In fact, I think she's like 2 hives over. Yep, in that single right there. And I think this is the one, you know, based on the timing of what I saw, eggs and larvae were way too soon for them to have made another queen, and she be mated already. So this hive had to have had 2 queens in it, which is a thing that happens. All right. Yeah, this one's way heavy too. So most of the bees you see flying around are from this hive over here. When you have a frame that's propolised in real tight like these, don't muscle it out of there. Just put pressure on it and move slow. You start yanking it around, you're going to pull it apart. And sometimes I have frames that aren't it's not a frame that I built, and it won't have glue in the joints right here, and I'll pull it right into pull the top right off of it, that top bar. Okay, lots of honey there. Honey, man, watch this one do the same thing to me. No brood. All honey. Got bee bread started right there. So because of the cooler temperatures and not a lot to forage, these bees are going to have a tendency to be more grumpy this time of year. They're all right here. There's a few out flying, but not many. This one's going looking the same as that other, and I see a queen. She's not marked. Right here. It's a miracle I saw that dark buck queen in all of this. She's little, but you know, I don't see any larvae or nothing around there. Here's some larvae and cap brood right here. Now see, this is what I would expect to see. You know, wintertime pattern going into winter. Very little, a few larvae, and we did Sarah Queen. So that's what I was wanting to see over here in this other one. So we can get on out of here now. Check this one off. It's good to go. Nice and heavy. These plastic frames here, I'll show you this. These plastic frames they're economical. They're quick to go in your hive. You don't have to put them together. You get them from Pureco, or the ones I like are from Pureco. They come waxed really good. The bees take to them quick. What I don't like about them is, see how they flex? And these frames here, they don't flex hardly at all compared to this. It bends real easy. And also when you're trying to move them around like this, you'll even see the center start to deflect a little bit. I don't know that that's a showstopper. I've got like 2 or 3 cases of these, and it's full of honey, so they don't care that it's plastic. What do y'all think about those? Does anybody else use them? They're cheaper than a wood frame with a wax foundation on it. All right, they're grumpy now. Let's get them closed up. Yeah, so this hive here looks great and nice and heavy. Saw the queen, should have marked her, but I didn't. And this one here, don't know. I think it's probably okay. The queen just isn't laying, but have to make a note. We need to check this out, you know, when we have some nice days in January, and make sure, or February, whenever we get into it, and make sure it's okay. Food stores wise, it's fine. Population wise, it's fine, but I saw no sign of a queen, and that's not fine. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get my entrance reducers on all these, and I'm going to start my last oxalic acid treatment of the year. I've done 3, maybe 4, I don't remember, by 7 days apart. And I want to give them one more shot with the very little capped brood cells in here to clean up the rest of those mites that are in these hives. And then we'll be set for winter, and just have to be checking them for weight and putting on some sugar cakes. And we'll be ready for winter. So hey, I'm almost to 13,000, so if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, help me get up there, and I appreciate all you subscribers. And we'll catch you on the next beekeeping video. Y'all take care.